that in terms of what a system is. A system regulates, just once again, it's coded. It has to regulate by a certain set of conditions and rules and laws. So what I'm wanting to do is begin to go beyond that program that said that there are truly unbreakable laws in terms of what? What do we say? The laws of physics. We have to break that code because laws technically do not exist. They exist as a program and a code within us until we wake up to the fact that they can be recoded. All you're doing is recoding and changing that. That's all you're doing. Because you're operating, the only way you can have a human experience or any kind of experience outside of being just pure source is to be some sort of this system. The only thing is systems become more and more expansive. So what we're dealing with is a limited aspect of what we can be, what we can experience in this world of limitation. So we're operating as limited systems, but waking up to the fact that we can exceed that. We can go beyond those laws. So now we have to break those codes. All of that, the laws of physics, gravity, all of that is defined by, yes, the level of consciousness that we're operating at, and that's the level of awareness, basically, that we're operating at. So that's really ultimately what we are aiming to do, is to break that. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
And you all on board?
Yes.
Okay, that means you're all crazy, just so you know, right? But that's the only way to be. If you tell me you're sane, you got to get out of here. You have to leave. Because that's not going to work. So anyway, all right, so there are a group of European scientists and engineers involved in a project known as FACETS, F-A-C-E-T-S. And what does that stand for? It stands for Fast Analog Computing with Emergent Transient States. Okay, we'll explain that. We'll get into that. But anyway, so what they're doing is they're making computers work like brains, like humans. That's what this project is about, is making computers that work like the human brain. Okay, so anyway, so the anagram for that is FACET, F-A-C-E-T-S. Okay, so once again, why is this important? They are basically bridging the gap between the human brain and the PC. They are part of an even larger group known as FET, which is Future Emerging Technology, and IST, which stands for Information Society Technology. Now, to me, these are all the things that are going on, and your average person, we don't know. You don't pay attention. And while you're not paying attention, and you're doing your little survival thing, and you're working, and you're doing all that, and you're going to church, and you're getting your little upload every Sunday, or whenever you get your upload 2-3 times a week, they're happy. Because you're not trying to ask these questions. It lets them do their work so that when they get more of the Borg agenda going, they get to test it on everybody. They get to test it on everybody and move everybody gradually into that space. What they also don't want you to know is what the capabilities are that they've discovered of what a human being with the human brain is truly capable of. They'll throw a little something at you, but your average person is not gonna even, they just figure, well, that's impossible, I can't do that. If I'm not Buddha, if I'm not Jesus, if I'm not what one of these other ascended masters or whoever, if I'm not these, I can't do that. That's exactly what they want us to think. I can't do that. I can't bypass time, I can't do this. That's not true. Because I sure as heck am bypassing time. As my ex-father-in-law said to me, when every time he sees me, he goes, He says, it looks as if time just passes you by. It doesn't even touch you. It's like it's not even touching you. That's what we want. We want it to just go by and have nothing to do with us, but we regulate it only according to what we need. That's really all that it is. We just want it to go back because we need to be here in what we would call longer, according to our concept of time, need to be here to be able to figure this out, get it, and override those programs. There's not enough time in the sense of how the body has been coded and programmed. It's just not enough time for people to snap out of it. So that's what I'm saying. And they're trying to figure it out. It's like a race against how many people will actually awaken to this possibility and them figuring it out enough so that they can move through this gate, these kinds of levels of opportunity. But my thing is, we got to stay ahead of the scientists. It's very possible. We can't stay ahead of them because they operate on logic, on what's logical. When I say it, there's a lot of things I've said over the years that probably would have sounded crazy, and then I see where they're now saying these same things. Scientists are figuring, I figured out. So you can stay a step ahead because they take a minute to figure it out. Because if 2 + 2 doesn't add up to 4, it's like, I don't even know, what is 2 + 2? That's a code too. We don't know. What does that mean? How do we know this is 2? You don't. That's just what we decided that 2 is going to be. 2 could be this many. I don't know. So anything could be. I'm trying to figure that out with our money. but the whole thing is, we have to begin to see it that way. That all that we're dealing with is what we've agreed on. Everything is what we've agreed on as to how we're going to function, operate, and the system, meaning those that run the system per se, they just give us more stuff that they decided that we're going to accept as the way the system runs. That's their job, is to keep, and it's not that they really know either. All they know is control. So they're being used or manipulated or operating by giving us these programs through their desire for control. You see what I mean? So even though they don't know, because they have what I call the control program, they also have some programs that they're operating by. So they have the control program, which makes it easier for them to administer the things that are essential to us in the game that will keep us locked down. Because it's a big old game. You hear me say that all the time. It's a big cosmic game of what the potentials are and discovering yourself and who you are, how you got down here, and how you get beyond this level of the game. You are never, there is no getting out of the game. It's just different levels of it. The only time that we are not in the game, per se, is when we are nothing. When that pulse happens and there's that moment, because we're I won't even say wave and particle, because I'm talking beyond wave and particle. When we are nothing, when there is nothing, that's the only reason when there's nothing going on, there's no game. And that's happening all the time. So in the moments that we are the experience and experiencing, that's when you see the different levels of the game. And what we're attempting to do is to move beyond this limited level of the game. Override the programs that you came in with from your ancestors and through your bloodline and all the